Hello everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to the first week of our Patchwork Duffel Sew Along for 2025. I am just going to jump right in because I'm going to just share a little bit about how this format's going to be each week. But I am going to use this video. I'll be sharing it in my feed so you can rewatch it later. And then I'll also be posting it onto YouTube. So those YouTube watchers, when you rewatch it, it will be smaller, but it's filmed for Instagram. So that is why. But I like putting these videos on YouTube later because then you can pause them and speed them up and come back to them if you need to. All of those things that aren't always as easy to do on Instagram. So I just wanted to let you know that's kind of the format that we'll be. We'll be doing lives weekly for the sew along, and I have our schedule posted on Instagram, so if you're curious about the schedule, you can check that post. It's just going to be 3 weeks. Our first week, which starts today, is all about collecting your supplies, and if you're doing a patchwork version of the duffel, cutting out your patchwork and sewing your patchwork. So okay, I just lost my thought. So we'll be doing the lives. If you haven't signed the newsletter, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you can get the link in my bio to sign up for the newsletter. And I'll be sending out the newsletter this afternoon. So as soon as I get this video posted onto YouTube, then the newsletter will go out and you'll have access to all the resources and everything that we're sharing and blog posts and everything else. So we'll all be linked in one place. So don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. And if you're watching this later, if you're like in a different week, we will be adding the emails from each week in those newsletters as well. So, okay, I think that that's all for the little housekeeping stuff. So we're just going to get right in and talk about week 1 of our Duffel Sew Along. So thank you so much for joining us to sew along. We just hosted a sew along just a few months ago for this pattern, so I was not planning on doing the sew along again so soon, but my friend Laurel, who will be joining us a little bit later of Snowberry Street, she came to me with this idea to do a duffel drive to donate duffel bags to foster kids in foster care, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but that was how this whole thing came about, and I'm so glad it did because it's just been a sweet thing to do. And I know there's lots happening in our country right now, fires in California, and my heart's been with all of those people, and Laurel and I have been talking about maybe other ways we could use these duffel bags as well. So she's going to join me after I share all of the little bag notion-y supply chat. So, okay, so we're going to just jump right in. I always like to just share my favorite bag notions. If you're new to bag making, and if you've done a sew along with us before, I share the same things every time because they're just the things that I use when making bags. So, and I may have a few new ones, maybe one new one, because I have been using a new product making bags the last few months and I love it. Okay, number 1, thread and needles. I know that that's so basic, but I like using Top Stitch 9014 needles, and some of the seams in our bags can get thick, so you want to make sure that you have a bigger needle. So the Schmetz brand is my favorite, the Top Stitch 9014. So be sure to grab a pack if you don't have a pack. You can use denim, like jeans needles, things like that, but these ones are my favorite to use. Thread. I use a 50 weight thread. I use So Fine, Superior Thread So Fine. That's what I use on my long arm quilting machine. And that's what I use on my sewing machine. I just love it. And I have it in all the colors, so that's what I use. I love. It's a polyester thread. It seems to be a strong thread, and it's what I've used for over a decade. You will want to get thread to match your lining fabric, maybe your accent fabric, and your handles. So just keep that in mind when you're sewing in different sections of your bag. You may want to match your lining, or you may want to match your accent fabric or your handle webbing or things like that. So you can be prepared, you might want to get thread. If you don't have Wonder Clip or a clip similar to this, you will want to get clips because those are so helpful when you're doing your seams together, when you're using the Soft and Stable, it's just a little bit thicker and it can bend your pins, so it just saves you from stabbing yourself and keeps all the layers together really nice and easy, and they're literally my favorite when doing quilted bags. Okay, a marking tool, some sort of marking tool. Any of your marking tools I'm sure will be great. These two are my favorite. The Clover chalk pen. I like this because it has a fine tip, it rolls right on, and the chalk goes on and it disappears really easily. I do have to give a disclaimer that I personally only like the white. I feel like it comes out the best. There are other colors, gray, pink, yellow, blue, and I do have some of those in my notions, and I use those when I know the line is going to be covered. If the line is just going to be covered by something else, I'll use it, but this is my favorite, the white. The white is my favorite. So you can use this for marking quilting lines, you can use this for marking other lines, things like that. So that works great for that. I didn't grab a Hera marker, but when you're doing quilting as well, you can use a Hera marker. We'll talk about quilting next week, so we'll share that again probably next week. This is my other, probably I use this one more now. I think I reach for this one a little bit more, but this is an air erasing fabric pen. It's from Soline, and this one is like a felt tip pen, so it's really nice to get some really crisp lines, and it goes away when you like with air, so it just like over time, right? So if you are marking quilting lines with this and then you walk away to go help your children, that's why I walk away from my sewing machine these days, and come back, it will probably disappear. So only use this when you know you're going to sew with it right away, because it really does disappear. So I love that. Okay, a stiletto by Annie. Stiletto and pressing tool is my favorite stiletto. I have like a few of them just in all the places because I love it so much. I use this for binding, but I use this in quilting. I use it for a lot of different things, but especially in back binding is my favorite to use in that scenario. And then I do carry these on my website. These are little pin protectors that can go on the tip. So if you don't have something like this, I really like these. These are called pinware. I use them as stiletto protectors. So I sell them in a little 3-pack on my website if you need something like that. You can use them for pins or stilettos or whatever, but I have them on all my stilettos because I don't want to get poked. Okay, and a tube turner. So a tube turner is only going to be helpful if you are covering your handles. Here, I have a duffel bag right here. I should stick this. If you're covering your handles with fabric. So this is a fabric covered handle, and so I used a Poly Pro webbing inside. I'll show you what that looks like. So this is polypropylene, right? So it's a little bit slick. It's like a polyester, so it slides into your fabric tube really easily, right? I don't use this on its own because I don't think it looks as professional, but anyway, so if you are using fabric to cover your handles and then you're pulling the strapping through, you will want a tube turner. If you haven't used one, they're worth their weight in gold, especially on these long handles because these are really long. And so it just makes it super easy to flip and turn the handle inside out. So I will show you that on the week we do talk about our handles, making our handles. I'll show you how to use those. Those are really slick too. Okay, and then this is, I saved the best for last because this is really my newest favorite bag notion. It's by Annie's basting tape. It's so funny. So if you have been around and you kind of know my history, I worked for Annie for about 3.5 years, and I adore her. I love her so much, and I love her product so much. And I used this when I worked for her, but for some reason I like ran out and didn't buy it again and forgot about it, and I'm just recently then turned on to it again, and I'm like, I can't make a bag without it now because I love it so much. So I use this. You can use this for your bindings, to hold your bindings in place, but my favorite time to use it is when I'm placing my zipper on my binding. So this bag only has one zipper across the top, so when I am placing my like you bind this edge and then you'll sew the zipper on, I'll put a piece of basting tape right on the underside of the binding, and then it sticks right on, and it's repositionable, but it holds it well enough in place that I can carry it to my sewing machine and it stays where I need to. I was pinning my zippers in place, and you can still pin if you feel like you need that extra stability, but honestly, this is like my new favorite thing. So if you haven't tried By double-sided basting tape, it's great. So you stick it on, you like just rip it, and then you peel the paper back off. The package does come with 2 rolls, which is really nice. So you get 2 rolls in a pack. I opened this one so I could show you, but I only have like this much left on my last roll, so I'm ready now with another package. Okay, so that's it for notions. You'll want to grab hardware, you'll want to grab webbing. So these are the other just like materials that you'll need. Those were just like the notions that I find really helpful for bag making. Okay, so you can do a decorative webbing. I carry a bunch of colors, solid colors and bold stripe, and a few like checkers and herringbone webbings in my shop if you need webbing. But I think I'm going to be using a solid for the bag I'm making. And then if you're covering it with fabric, be sure to grab the Polypro webbing. For your carrying strap, you'll need hardware. So we have hardware, which is the swivel hook, the triangle ring, and the strap adjuster. Right here, you'll need two triangle rings, 2 swivel hooks, and 1 strap adjuster for this bag for your carrying strap. And we have them in, I think, 6 or 7 colors. So we have it in the tulip pink hardware. We have antique brass, rose gold, gold, silver, gunmetal, and black. So lots of colors of hardware. And then you'll need a zipper. So I just barely grabbed a zipper. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, right here. A zipper. So I love, like I said, Annie zippers. I use a 30-inch double slide on this one. And you may have a little bit of extra zipper tape on the end, but I usually just save that for another project. You can grab zipper pulls individually, or you can use Zippers by the Yard, which we sell some striped zippers by the yard. I don't know if you can see that in here, but this is like the teal striped zippers by the yard. I love it so much. And then I use these cute cherry zipper pulls. We have the zippers, the striped zipper tape in the shop, and lots of different zipper pulls that coordinate with it, so you can do some fun zipper pulls, things like that. And just the fun stuff, let's see, I know I did put a tag on here. If you want tags and labels, I find that quilted bags, when they have bindings, are like the perfect opportunity to add those cute tags in there. So I have my banana tag and my knot and thread tag. I'm out of these ones in my shop, but this is one of my favorites. It's a Kylie and the Machine one, and it's really hard to see it on here, but it says "you can't buy this." It's my favorite because when people come ask me if they can buy my bag, I'm like, no, see, it says you can't buy this. This is like really one of my favorite bags that I've ever made. I love the fabrics, I love the pink. So this one, after it's done being a sample, is going to be mine because it's a favorite. So, okay, so other things to consider when you're starting out with your bag is, are you going to do a patchwork bag, or are you going to do solid? Are you going to do the mini duffel, or are you going to do the large duffel? So there are two separate patterns. There's the patchwork duffel mini, which is a small one, and the patchwork duffel, which is the large one, which is this one. But both patterns have instructions if you're doing a solid fabric or a patchwork version of the fabric. So I wish I could show you easily the size difference of these, but it's kind of hard to see. Okay, you can kind of see the size difference here, and then let's see if I can do this. The size difference there. I have an Instagram post. I'll try and share it to my feed. It's a little ways back, but it shows the size difference pretty good. So if you are participating in the Duffel Drive part of our sew along and planning to donate your duffel bag, we're asking for the large one, the patchwork duffel, because we want it to hold as much as it can for the people that we're providing it for. So that's what we're asking. We will take anything if you've already started it, but we would love if you're donating the bag, if you'll make the larger one. And then I just saw a question come in, is the mini good size for smaller kids? And absolutely. I have this size for both of my kids that I've made. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 4-year-old, and this is perfect for a weekend trip for them. When they were babies, I used to pack both of them in one of these because it's still a really decent size, the smaller one, but But now that they're a little bit older and their clothes are a little bigger and they need more things, this is great for smaller kids. I actually really love having the smaller one for myself as well, so I can put like my toiletries and shoes, or like my blow dryer, curling iron, things like that in one, and then my clothes and everything else in another. So it's great companion as well. Who are they being donated to? Okay, so we're going to be talking more about where and that element of the donation part in just a little bit, so stay tuned. But we're hoping to get you more information because we want to donate them to foster children, foster organizations, so that they can give them and use them for foster children. Okay, I am hoping I don't miss. The live is so inspiring to make a Patrick Duffel. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm trying to catch the comments as well, but I'll answer questions at the end as well too. Okay, so you can do a solid version too. So I have a solid version here, and this one actually doesn't look solid, but it is. This is actually a new fabric coming out. I think it's going to be shipping to stores in the next month, hopefully. This is from Alexia Abeg's collection for Ruby Star Society. The collection is called Oh Lucky Lucky. Sorry, someone said that they lost sound. Do you guys, can you hear me? I hope you can hear me still. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. I haven't seen any hearts. Oh, hearts. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that you can still hear me. Okay, so like I said, this is, what do you use to keep the structure? Okay, we're going to talk about that, so just stay tuned. So this is Alexia Abeg's collection, Oh Lucky Lucky, coming from Ruby Star Society. This is a canvas. It's a cheater print, so it's a tumbling block cheater print, which is so fun, right? It looks pieced, but it's not. And so I wanted to talk about the canvas. So people have asked, like, can you use decorator weight or just cotton? I love using canvas on bags. I think it's great. I personally only recommend using it for the exterior of the bag. Just the exterior, because once you're sewing through all the layers, it can get really thick because the inside seams are all finished with machine binding. So this is canvas on the outside. This is a cotton fabric that I covered the handles, and then I used, we should show you the lining of this because it's great. I did use Tula Pink zippers on these and use these giant Tula Pink zipper pulls. They're so fun. And the inside is this darling butterfly. I can't wait to get more of this fabric. And like I said, it's Ruby Star Society should be shipping probably in the next 4 weeks, I would guess. I know some shops are getting pre-cuts. Okay, so you can do solid version and patchwork. I wanted to show about the structure, the question that was asked about the structure. I call for soft and stable in the pattern, which is a soft foam interfacing. I used to have a piece in here, but I don't. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, like a sew-in interfacing. It's also a Biani product, that's why I love it. But you can use batting too. So I wanted to show you the difference. Like, these have stuff in them to keep their shape, but they would stand up without anything in them. But you can see this one here. This one's made from batting. And you can see that it's like a lot more just pliable, right? And I think they both have their purpose. So if you have batting lying around and want to use batting, I don't think that that's a bad choice either. I have heard that using 2 layers of batting sometimes gives it a little bit more structure too. I know we all have scraps of batting left from our quilts. So I think that if you want to use that, go for it and use that. But I do like this one because it just folds up really small and compact, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. These ones take up just a little bit more space when they're folded because they're just a little bit firmer. But this is great if you needed to pack an extra bag inside a bag. If you need extra, you could just like throw this in and it doesn't take up that much space in another one. So you can definitely make that choice between batting or soft and stable for your bag. And I wanted to show, let's see, I wanted to show you the fabric I picked for mine. I just was going through my fabrics because I wanted to pick fabric that I thought might be good for, extra for QuiltCon, exactly. Yep, if you need to just pack one in your suitcase and have an extra bag for QuiltCon, it would be perfect for that. I wanted to pick fabric, so I want to donate mine to foster children, and I kind of thought maybe I'd pick little more boyish fabric because I have way more girlish fabric. So this is what I've picked for the exterior of mine, these cheetahs in this like teal fabric. And then I found this perfect plaid that will be the lining. So I'm not certain about my zippers or my webbing yet, but I'm very excited to get this started. So I wanted to share also that in the pattern, there are instructions if you are using a directional fabric. So if you're using a directional fabric, there are instructions for cutting out the bag body piece so that the prints go the right way on both sides, right? We want these prints up, like right side up, and these prints on this side, right side up as well. So there are instructions in the pattern for using a directional print. So I just wanted to let you know about that as well. Okay, I'm going to ask Laurel to join me. So she's going to just send me a little request and I'll ask Laurel to join me. And then we'll just talk about, please ask your questions if you have questions on the duffel and like any part of the sew along as well. And then Laurel and I are going to just share a little bit about the duffel drive part of our sew along if you're planning to donate. So, okay, here she is. Let me just grab this. If that worked. Hopefully it will let Laurel join. Yay! Hi, Laurel.
Hi, I've never been live before. This is fun. I did make it. Somebody asked about soft and stable, and I have a chunk right here.
Oh, perfect.
So if you want to see, you can see it's thick. It's really foamy. It's so easy to sew through. It's soft on both sides, easy to pin through. But I do absolutely love the clips that you mentioned earlier, and you will end up sewing through a lot of layers of this, but I mean, these clips, they work so well with the soft and stable. I love it for bag making. If batting is all you have, that's fine, but highly recommend the soft and stable.
We're a big fan
I
of
hadn't
soft
used it until I started making your bags, and now I won't make a bag with anything else.
I know.
So,
I love it too. I love it too. Thank you for showing. Oh, do you
yes,
have your fabric haul?
yes, I'm gonna make a marble bag because
Oh,
I thought that would be
I
cute for
love it.
a teenage boy or a girl that loves comics, and so I'm so excited. I've been collecting my fabrics, getting ready, and I can't wait.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So,
So I
yay!
just wanted to share
So,
with everyone Laurel because Laurel is seriously
hi.
one of the most sweet, kind people
Oh,
that I've ever met. And
thank
she's
you.
been in like a serendipitous sewing group that has been created in our little community here in Utah over the last, how long have we been sewing together? 3 years,
I
maybe
think
2
it's
years?
getting close to
3
three. I
years
think we're going on 3 years.
ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when Laurel came to me and she said, "Hey, Kaylin, I heard of this need. Why don't you share like how you heard about the need in the
Sure.
foster community?"
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we've all heard about foster kids and what they're going through. But my son brought home a flyer from his school right before Christmas, and they were asking for things, you know, school supplies and blankets and luggage and duffels and things like that. And I went and grabbed some blankets and donated, and I sat and thought about it, and I thought there was duffels on that list, and we can do something about that. We can make duffels. We like to sew. I think quilters are some of the most beautiful, generous people on the planet. And I thought, what if we just asked our friends in the sewing world to make a duffel to donate? Because I was telling Kate, I was like, I love making duffels, but I only need so many in my house. My kids only need so many duffels and quilts. So what if we donated? So what I'm doing right now, I'm putting together a list of places for you to donate. I am looking kind of nationwide. I'm calling different states, trying to find the best information so that you have the best success in donating in your local community. Kate and I are both involved in international things, charity work. You know, Kate does Mothers Without Borders and what is it? Love to Ukraine,
To
sending
Ukraine
love to
with
Ukraine.
love.
To
Yeah.
Ukraine with love. There we go. And I've worked heavily with Wrap the World with Quilts. It used to be called Wrap Ukraine with Quilts. So we really wanted this to enrich your own communities where you live. So, but like Kate mentioned earlier, if you're watching what's happening in California and you decide you want to pivot and donate there, by all means, donate there. If that's where your heart is, please, please just donate somewhere. But whether you're making it back for yourself or making it back to donate, we're just happy you're here and
Yeah.
joining us.
Yeah, we
So
are so happy you're here. So when
yes.
Laurel came to me and shared this, I was like, oh, I wasn't planning on doing a Duffel solo along, but how can we not? Right? How can we not? Because um, I think the thing that's really struck me about planning this and doing this and talking with Laurel over the last couple of weeks is um, how wonderful that we can use our sewing skills to bless our communities. That's
Mm-hmm.
really what I've been thinking about.
Yes.
And when it wasn't just like, hey, send them to us so we can give them to people in Utah, it's like, no, get involved, find the places. And if you know of places in your communities, please email us and let us
Yeah.
know, because we are going to try to get a list together by the end of the sew along that we can give you to have resources. And I know that there are might even be quilt shops in your areas if they want to collect them. If you are a fan of Stitch Supply Co. in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, I watched their live this week and they said
Mm-hmm.
that they were going to collect them at their shop. So
Yes.
if you're near there, you can donate to there. And then I also have a really exciting thing to share. If you're joining us at QuiltCon, I am vending at QuiltCon, so I'll have my own booth. And there's my lovely friend Raquel, I think it's Little Red Hen Raquel is her Instagram handle. I should have confirmed before I did this, but Raquel said that she would be glad to stop by. Raquel lives in Arizona, and she
Mm-hmm.
would be glad to stop by my booth and collect them at the end of every day. So if you want to drop your bag, your donated duffel bag at my booth at QuiltCon, feel free to bring it with you. We just want to make it easy for everybody to donate if they want to donate. We will allow you to send them to us too, and we will figure out where the
Mm-hmm.
best uses for them as well if you're not in a position to figure out in your own communities the best places. But we were talking about, because Laurel's been trying to get in touch with different facilities, even like domestic abuse shelters
Mm-hmm.
might
Crisis
have use for
centers.
them. And
Yeah.
maybe people in the fires, right? Like that's what we were just talking about, how there's so much need in the world right now
Mm-hmm.
for our caring and giving hearts. And as quilters, we know that the way we love to show, at least me, the way I like to show people I love them the most is by making them something. So,
Yes.
and I
So
imagine all of you are similar to that. So we're grateful you're here. We're grateful you're joining us. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Laurel?
I think we've covered everything I needed to cover today. Just know that more information is coming.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have any resources that you know of, please send them our way. We would love to
Yeah.
add that to the list. And just thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We've been talking about this for weeks, and I can't believe it's finally you. I'm so excited.
No.
So
And we
thanks for
have
joining us.
1,300 of you signed up. So how fun. So be
Yeah.
sure to share on the hashtag so that we can follow along what you're making and see what you're creating, and tag me and tag Laurel.
Yes, we
I'm at
want to
Knot
see
and Thread
them.
and Laurel is at Snowberry Street. We would
Mm-hmm.
love to see what you're doing and what you're making, whether it's for you or for anyone else. We're
Mm-hmm.
really just happy that you're here. So um, did you happen to see if there were any more questions? Okay, how do I sign up? Thanks for the question. Both Laurel and I have the Duffel Sew Along newsletter sign up in our profiles. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go to our Instagram profiles, click on the link in our bio, and there will be a button that says Duffel Sew Along's newsletter sign up,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So you can get on the newsletter there, and we'd love to have you on the newsletter. If you guys have signed up, you know that it will. I know that there's been some issues with my sign up. So some people are like, it sent me to this weird giveaway page. So I'm sorry about that. That was totally my bad because I had copied an old form and didn't do all the things, but I'm learning. So I apologize about that, but you should get an email that says you're in and you're confirmed. And in that email, it's giving you a discount code for my shop if you want to grab the pattern on sale or any of your supplies. So it'll give you a discount code in the newsletter kickback. So if you don't get that, just send me an email. I'll make sure that you get the discount code. But I'm not sharing it here because I really want you to sign up for the newsletter and be a part of this. But it's a one-time 20% off discount code for anything from the shop. So that was our way of trying to say thanks if you're donating it, or thanks if you're joining us.
Yeah.
We just wanted to give you a little discount for participating. So, okay, I think that's it. I don't think I missed any other questions.
No, I'm
But
just so happy that you're excited.
Yeah.
Just the comments have been great, and
Yeah.
thank you. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
there's my sister. Hi,
Oh,
Camille.
so awesome. Okay, and like
Yeah.
I said, the replay of this will be in our feed. It will also be on my YouTube channel, and we'll add the link to it in the newsletter going out later this afternoon. So thank you all for joining us. Have a really wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week.
Good.
See you,
Thanks. Bye.
Laurel.
Bye.